Rosy friends, it's Julie, and today I'm going to go back over a first impression kind of review that I did a short while ago where I talked about the Physicians Formula Concealer Twins, the one that was green and beige at the same time, and that I really liked the coverage, but I couldn't get it to look like kind of a natural texture on my face. Even after I put powder on it later on, it gave a very makeup-y look. And a lot of you came through and gave me some comments and some advice and some recommendations and tips to that I could try, and I thought I would just give this a second chance, and I would do it on camera just so that if it works, then I can show you. And thank you very much, by the way, to everybody who did give their suggestions. I really appreciate that because I am in no way a beauty expert. I just like to try these things out on my rosacea to see if they'll work for me, and if they do, I like to share my experience with you so that it might help you out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back over using this as though it were for the first time, and I'm going to use your tips instead of the ones that came on the back of this package. If you want to see the original video for this, I'll leave a link to it right here so that you can check that out. I did try it exactly according to the instructions as far as I could tell, but I've received some really great advice from Jessica Brank. I'm very sorry if I just messed up your last name, but thank you, Jessica, for your advice, especially to get a beauty blender or a blender-like product, and to Talcum Powder XO to use well, because you suggested that as well, to buff it in either with the beauty blender type product or with that followed by a foundation brush. So I really appreciate that. Sorry, I was just making sure I didn't get your names wrong, which apparently didn't seem to matter because I probably haven't pronounced them right anyway, but I'm trying. But yep, so I did head out and I got they didn't have a beauty blender at the store near me. They had kind of a knockoff version, so I got that, and if I absolutely love it, then I might actually upgrade to the more expensive actual beauty blender one, because that is supposed to be the ultimate, but I'm trying this for the first time. I've been very resistant because I do, as much as I don't like throwing things out all the time, I do like keeping things crazy clean because my skin reacts to everything. So I got one from the brand Quo. I got it from the Beauty Boutique, and it looks like this. The reason that it's already out of the package is because I cleaned it and dampened it according to the recommendations that Jessica gave me. And so now I'm just going to give it a try. What I was told to do is to put the product on and dab, 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 and see if I can get a better consistency from that. So we'll see. Okay, so keeping in mind that this is the first time I've ever used a beauty blender, but I was using a very light hand and just going over it, and you can see that some of the product came off on the beauty blender. I hope my camera picks that up, but on the makeup sponge, I shouldn't call it a beauty blender, it's not actually that brand, on the Quo makeup sponge, blending sponge, but yep, and you know, that's understandable and things, but it seems to have spread some of it around, but there is kind of a blotch that just dried on as a little, it's right here. I'm not sure if it's visible on my camera, but there is a big blob of it now that won't seem to spread around at all. This is a very, very pasty product. It's very thick, and it just does not seem to want to spread. It doesn't seem to want to thin out. And to be clear, this is damp. I did wet it and wrang it out as much as I possibly could. So there is a little bit of, you know, water in here, so it should actually be slightly thinning it, but I'm not really sure how to. Basically all I could do was use my fingernail to remove it. So it does look like this did a better job. That said, it does look like this did a far better job kind of spreading it out and making an even layer. I just think that I'm going to need more product, surprisingly, than I did with the little wedge sponges that I had been using. So I'm just going to give it another go. I'm going to act quickly so it's not that I'm letting this dry. Okay, so that was a little bit the second layer. I think this seems to work best if I do like crazy thin layers and just do one on top of the next. So the second layer seems to have gone a little bit more. I didn't end up gloppy, but that did a nice job. So now it's just a matter, I am tinted slightly green, so it is a matter of trying it with the beige as well, the beige layer. Okay, so we're going to give the beige layer a go and see if we can get a nice, even, pretty looking final look. Okay, so I think, while I think that it did a better job at blending, it definitely did a better job at blending it in. I can definitely see why people are in love with these now, and why they would use them for anything even slightly, like liquid concealers, liquid foundations, things like that. I'm definitely going to be tampering with this for the next little while, testing out the way that I had been using makeup and changing that around a little bit to see if I can get a better application. I've been happy with my application so far, but I mean, there's always room for improvement. That said, I found that with using this, I didn't get the coverage that I was able to achieve the last time. I love the finish a lot more, and I think now with this much gone, with this much coverage, if I just throw on a layer of powder on top of that, I'll be pleased with that. And that's really all I want from my makeup. I don't need to have one step do everything. In fact, I didn't have any I didn't even imagine that this would do the whole job by itself. I thought that this would be the layer that I would put under my powder, and that would help to cover things up. So I am going to just throw on a layer of the Physicians Formula powder, because this is Physicians Formula, so I'll just use the whole system together and see how that goes. And that might actually do it. I don't feel that this has the coverage that it had before, but I think that it might have had more coverage before, only because it was one big, thick, pasty looking layer. So let's give the Physicians Formula a try. I have previously done videos about this. If you'd like to see them, I will put a link to them right here. But for now, I'm not going to use the actual Physicians Formula brush. If you happen to watch the video where I did use this original brush, you'll see that not only I just can't stop little hairs from coming out of this thing, but it also, in the first time that I tried it, it actually damaged my skin. It actually took off little bits, and I was very gentle with this. So we'll just put that aside for demo purposes only and use this brush that I love. It is a little blender brush that I got from the All Natural Face. I absolutely love it. It's one of my favorite brushes in the whole wide world. So I'm just going to give that a whirl and get going with the powder. And I just put a little bit in here and see what happens with that. Okay, so yep, actually I'm really pleased with this final result. I know it's not a perfect look, but this will be a very quick look to achieve, and that I appreciate very, very much. I can definitely see a difference between this side, and this side I feel looks very, very natural. It hasn't covered up every single little bit, but almost nothing will do that unless I use like stage makeup, like theater makeup. So no, I'm very, very pleased with this. This is exactly what I wanted to achieve when I tried it out the first time. So thank you very much, Jessica, and thank you very much, Talcum Powder XO. If you want to try the twin concealers with the green and the beige, a beauty blender is going to be your best friend. That makes a big difference. That said, I still think that you definitely need the powder on top. As much as it advertises that the beige side will cover up the green side, it doesn't. It doesn't cover it in any believable way. It's just not a good enough color match, and it just doesn't provide that kind of coverage. You do need the powder on top to finish it off. Here is the final look. So that was the look I was able to achieve with it. You can definitely see a big difference between that side and that side. I'm very, very pleased with it. If I just want to look nice, I'm going to something where I want to feel pretty. this will definitely be enough. And even at a time like now when I'm in the middle of a sort of moderate flare-up, this isn't a really bad one, but it is really hot outside. I'm so overheated right now with the lights on me right now, and I know that the redness is definitely there. Thank you so much for your help, Rosy friends. I really appreciate it. I'm so glad to be able to come back over the videos that were kind of giving a meh impression of something when actually it could do a good job, and I'm really pleased with this. So thank you so much. Now, you know, I was kind of not all that thrilled with this before. I felt I did an adequate job, but not great. Now I'm really happy with this. I hope you liked this video. I am absolutely thrilled that this worked out again. Yet again, you've saved me with the Physicians Formula products, which I was using kind of somewhat wrong to begin with. If you did like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more videos like this one, or the ones where I do things right from the start, then I hope you'll subscribe to my channel. I make new videos every Sunday and Thursday. And other than that, I will see you next time.